The incident report would later be titled exactly that. He drew a knife in class. The Deathworld girl just smiled and ended it. Station security would file it under resolved, without casualties, though the Centauri embassy would dispute that classification for weeks. But that morning, in the Galactic Academy's Xenobiology lecture hall, nobody was thinking about incident reports. Kevin's hand moved to his belt, and the room fell into stunned silence. The Centauri student's azure skin had flushed deep purple with rage, his 3 fingers wrapping around the ceremonial blade that marked him as a warrior scholar of the 5th moon. The knife gleamed under the artificial lighting, 20 centimeters of folded crystal, sharp enough to cut through most known alloys. "You dare mock my thesis." Kevin's translator chip rendered his clicking speech into standard galactic common, though the venom in his voice needed no translation. "You primitive death." Jasmine sat at her desk, 1 row ahead. Her posture relaxed in a way that made several of the other students instinctively shrink back. She'd been on the Galactic Academy station for only 3 months, but already her reputation had spread through the halls like wildfire. She was from Eartha Class 12 Death, one of the most hostile environments in known space that had somehow spawned sapient life. The other students had learned quickly that humans were different. "I didn't mock anything," Jasmine said calmly, turning in her seat to face Kevin. Her dark eyes tracked the knife with the same casual interest one might give to a child's toy. "I just pointed out that your classification system for predator-prey relationships doesn't account for apex species that hunt other apex species. It's not personal." Kevin's blade cleared its sheath with a crystalline ring. In the low gravity of the station, he launched himself across the gap between their desks with lethal grace, the knife aimed directly at Jasmine's throat. To the Zen, this was the ultimate answer to a challenge of intellect. Let combat decide who spoke truth. What happened next would be analyzed in security footage for weeks to come. Jasmine moved, not with the jerky panic of prey, not with the desperate flailing of someone untrained in combat. She moved with the terrible efficiency of a creature born on a world where everything wanted to kill you, where gravity pulled twice as hard as galactic standard, where the very air could turn poisonous with the wrong weather patterns. Her hand snapped up, catching Kevin's wrist mid. The crack of bone was audible even over the gasps of their classmates. The knife clattered to the floor, spinning across the polished surface, and before Kevin could even process the pain, Jasmine had shifted her weight, using his own momentum against him in a smooth motion that sent the Centauri warrior scholar crashing into the desk behind her. She was on him in a heartbeat, one knee on his chest, her hand wrapped around his throat, not squeezing, just holding, just reminding him that she could. And then she smiled. Not a grimace, not a snarl, a genuine, almost friendly smile, the kind someone might wear when explaining something simple to a confused child. That smile would haunt Kevin's nightmares for years to come. It was the smile of apex predator who had just been handed an easy victory, who hadn't even needed to try. It was the smile that ended it. "On Earth," Jasmine said conversationally, as if she wasn't currently restraining an alien who outweighed her by 40 kilos, "we have a saying, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. But you know what? We also have thousands of martial arts styles, specifically designed to disarm someone with a blade. We practice them for sport, for fun." Professor Zilrath, the mantis-like instructor, finally overcame her shock enough to activate the emergency protocols. Gravity intensified around Kevin, pinning him in place with restraining fields. But Jasmine had already released him and stepped back, hands raised in a peaceful gesture. "I broke his wrist," she said matter-of-factly to the professor. "He'll need medical attention. The bones are thinner than ours." I felt them give way. You moved so fast," whispered Cora, a gentle Plenthian whose species had evolved on a low-gravity world with no natural predators. Her translator struggled with the fear in her voice. "How did you move so fast?" Jasmine picked up her datapad, checking it for damage from the commotion. "Standard reflexes for a human. Earth gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared. Station gravity is what? 6, maybe 7. I'm basically in slow motion to you." Security drones arrived, their weapons charging as they assessed the situation. Kevin was writhing on the floor, clutching his shattered wrist, his purple flush now mixing with the pale blue of pain and shock. "She attacked me," he managed to spit out. "I invoked trial by you drew first," Jasmine interrupted, her voice still calm. "Every camera in this room caught it. You attacked me with a deadly weapon. I defended myself. Where I come from, that's not just legal, it's considered showing remarkable restraint." Professor Zilrath's compound eyes swiveled to take in the entire scene. She'd been teaching for 30 cycles, had students from over 200 species, but humans still unnerved her. They moved like predators, thought like prey, and fought like demons from old Centauri mythology. "The human is correct," Zilrath said finally. "Kevin, you are hereby expelled from the Academy for attempted murder. Jasmine, you are noted for your restraint." As the security drones escorted a protesting Kevin away, the class slowly returned to their seats. The energy in the room had changed. Before, Jasmine had been an oddity, a curiosity from a distant world. Now, she was something else entirely, something dangerous, Jasmine returned to her seat and pulled up her notes, ready to continue with the lecture, as if nothing had happened. Behind her she heard whispers in a dozen different languages, all saying variations of the same thing. Death, be careful. Don't provoke her. Professor Zilrath cleared her throat, a chittering sound that demanded attention. As the human was saying before the interruption, predator-prey dynamics on Deathworlds are considerably more complex than standard models suggest. Perhaps, Jasmine, you could elaborate on your thesis. Jasmine stood, and half the class flinched. On Earth, she began pulling up a holographic display of her homeworld. We don't have prey species that reached sapient. We have persistence hunters who can track prey for days, who can throw projectiles with enough force to kill from a distance, who can coordinate in groups to take down creatures 10 times our size. She zoomed in on a savanna, showing humans in ancient times pursuing a massive herbivore. We're not the strongest, we're not the fastest, we're not the most venomous. She turned to face the class, that same calm smile on her face. We're just the ones who never ever stop. That's what Apex means on a death world. The lecture hall remained silent, and Jasmine knew that her point, both the academic one and the practical one, had been made perfectly clear on Earth. They had a saying, speak softly and carry a big stick. But sometimes, Jasmine thought as she continued her presentation, you didn't need the stick at all. Sometimes, being from a death world was enough.